I remember like doing these designs in a call with my friends, and I was like, I'm going to like enjoy all of this. So this is like the first design
Oh,
of Under
wow.
the Moon.
Welcome to Metaverse Degen. I'm Lion.
I'm Old Man Raptor, and we got one hell of a guest here today, and that is.
Hello, I'm Inoue Tsukiyomi. It's a pleasure to meet all of you guys.
Oh,
It's great to meet you.
indeed. It's a pleasure. I'll just jump right into the meat and potatoes of the conversation. What are you most known for? How'd you get started? And what brought you into VRChat?
What am I most known for? I would say that it's mostly I guess like my performances. Recently I've been performing a lot at like music events such as like Valraven's Creation Hub, Talents of the Beyond. I performed at Cupid's Loverfest, hosted by Verelium. I've also performed at the Midnight Opera. The most recent event that I actually performed at was the Midnight Opera, the jazz bar event. Some people know me as a jazz singer because I do sing jazz. I sing lots of jazz. I love jazz a lot. It's my most favorite like music genre. I would like to say that that music category is actually what helped me with my singing. It helped me discover at least my voice, you know. But yeah. Now what?
Now, the other two R's, what got you started and how'd you get into VRChat?
How I got started? Okay, so um let's see, it's a long story. I guess it's a long story if I think about it honestly. Um I first started off as like getting on VRChat and just like hanging out with friends and such. I wasn't much of a VRChat person back then, but now I am, I guess. But uh yeah, so it started off with friends and then it became and a few years like later, I guess like 2 years after, because I started playing VRChat, I think 2, 3 years ago or four. And then like after that I kind of just I got on VRChat because I was like, I don't really have like I don't really have a lot of friends because I had a fallout through another group and it was the most horrible thing ever. So I came to VRChat and I was like, okay, I'm gonna just try to make some friends, right? So I tried doing that. Through that, I discovered open mic. And so, you know, in I am like, I guess I'm the musician and like the singer in my family since I am the youngest. So, yeah, I started like going to like these open mic nights and I just started performing. I started off as just not having like any background music. It was just my voice. Like it was literally just my voice when I started performing. And so through that I met some amazing friends. Created this friend group and it was just absolutely amazing. I performed, they performed, and then after that, I became a co-host of of like an independent show called Le Mood Swings, and so um, I was a co-host. It was a lot. Um, not a lot of not a lot of people came, but it was just mainly the hostess that found the talents. I was kind of just there to help out. One day, like during the event, I was I asked my friends and I was like, "Do you guys think I would be like a good like show host?" And they're like they're like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, I think I can because like me as a host, like well, actually when I was thinking of like becoming a host, I was like, I think I'm gonna be a pretty good host. Like I like to interact with the crowd. I like to talk to people. I'm a very social person." And then after that, like I became a show host at like Renegade Entertainment Productions, and then I hosted there for 2 years. Um, got some really good numbers actually. I forgot which event that I had a full house on actually. Which one was it? It was my first year anniversary event actually. So I decided, so before like my first year anniversary event of Under the Moon, I decided to like find like 20 performers before the event, right? So I had a huge list of performers performing, and it was the most beautiful and most happiest like moment of my life because I was like, oh my goodness, I love all of these performers. And what's crazy was that I didn't expect a full house. Like literally, it almost hit like the event almost hit like 80 people. Like the instance was almost full. But I was having technical issues because my PC wasn't good back then and I kept crashing and I was like, oh no, oh my goodness. So there's a lot of stress, but in the end, it was really good. I was really happy with the results and everything. But yeah.
Oh. So
What?
you said in there that you performed at open mic nights and you sing and you're the musician of the family. Now, do you do that in VR
Yeah.
chat or do you do that in real life as well? Was VR chat the first time you
Back
performed any music?
no, actually. I used to perform for family events. I got my first instrument, which was the ukulele. And so I would go, like, my mom would like bring me and my brothers to like family parties. And so I would just play like lots of like I would perform for the party. So I would just be playing my ukulele, I'd be playing songs for the audience. That's how it started.
Hmm.
And then after that, going back to when I discovered open mic, I started performing there because on VRChat, my bad. I started performing here on VRChat for open mic because I realized that there's a bunch of like singers and musicians that are alike. I kind of just wanted to like do all of this like performing performing stuff here, and yeah, and then I started playing my guitar, which was actually, yeah, I kind of started playing guitar, but it's just mostly just bossa nova, but yeah.
Oh. So you primarily
Mhm.
played for your family and stuff. Now,
Before then, yeah.
yeah. So performing on a stage, was VRChat your first time for stage work in terms of like non-family related events?
Yes, when I first performed on this like on the stage in the open mic world, I was like so nervous. Like my voice was shaky. I was shaking. Like it was the most like nerve-wracking thing because it's different. Like compared to like me performing in front of like my family in real life, like it's just a small crowd, right? But when you're on VR chat and you're performing on a virtual stage in front of a bunch of people you don't know, it's nerve-wracking because when I was singing, I was like, these people don't know. In the back of my head, I'm like, these people don't know me. Like, they don't know me, and they're just listening to me sing. So it's like, I was like, oh God. But I just kept going. But that was like the journey to like finding my voice, like my singing voice. But yeah.
Okay. So how long have you been performing in VRChat for, and how has your performances altered over time, man?
So how long I have been performing? I've been performing on VRChat for at least 3 years. First started off as a cappella, and then I found this software on Steam called Soundboard, and then I started playing music through my mic, and I was like, "Oh my God, I'm getting better, right?" So after that, like, I was performing with the soundboard, and then after that, like my friend was like, you know what would really impact your performance if you have reverb. And I was like, I don't have reverb. Like, oh my god. So I decided to install voice mod, and then I got voice mod pro, and so I had help from another friend, like setting up my reverb and everything to have like that effect on my voice. And so after that, like I kind of just my performances just got better, I guess. You know, I started learning more songs. I started learning more like jazz songs, more musical songs. But yeah,
Okay.
I
that
got
was
one.
mine.
I got one for you.
Ooh.
What advice would you give some? I just got clobbered by whatever that was. Just went above my head. Okay. What advice would you give for somebody if they were coming in and wanted to sing and stuff like this? What would you give them?
My advice? Oh, that's an interesting question. I'm all about encouraging. But my advice is like try not to think about like I guess like try not to think about like the people that are in front of you. Just I guess focus on the music and just sing. Like and at the same time like if you have stage fright, that's okay. You know, everyone has stage fright and it takes a while to get over, but if you just keep performing and keep going, sooner like eventually you will just your stage fright will get less worse. We'll get we'll just slowly go away, but it's still there. But I I guess that's my advice. Uh I guess that's what I would tell a new incoming
Okay,
performer.
I
You know.
gotcha.
Okay. So you also started a group. What is the group Under the Moon, and how did that get started, and what is it about?
So how I started Under the Moon, I wanted to become a show host, because my friends like encouraged me. Well, yeah, just from like that one simple question going back when I asked them like, will I be a good show host? So that's what kind of started it. But before I even started that, I kind of wanted to test the waters of me just being a co-host of another show, and that was Limit Swing. And so going back now, I we kind of just parted ways, and so I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna talk to the community leader of Renegade Entertainment Productions, and so I was like, hey, um, is it okay if I like host my show at like this venue called REP Social Lounge? Because it matched the theme of my show. And so yeah, after that, like it was greenlit, and then I became a show host there. But but in the making of Under the Moon, I drew my posters. I'm an artist. I draw everything. I draw my event posters. I draw like my I draw I'm a digital artist. I actually have like prints of like the old designs if it's okay if you guys would like to see actually.
Sure.
It's like early designs, but yeah. I remember like doing these designs in a call with my friends, and I was like, I'm going to like enjoy all of this. So this is like the first design
Oh
of Under
wow.
the Moon.
Oh, well, that's really well done.
So yeah, and it started off with like, you know, the bamboo and like the moon obviously reflect and the moon reflecting off the water and everything. And so that was like the first year of like Under the Moon. But like during like the year I kind of changed designs, and that's where the second design came in. So I kind of wanted it to like to look a little bit more eye-catching. But then I realized, I was like, I don't really like that design. Like, because like I feel like it was a bit too obnoxious. Like there's too much going on, and it kind of just takes away like from Under the Moon, right? And I went on to like the next design, which was this one. Now, these lanterns, these were actually inspired off of a game character that I really liked, but I kind of forgot their name. But yeah, this was like the second. This design actually it was in the second year of Under the Moon actually, and then here comes the second most recent design actually.
Oh.
Which one is this one? Now, during the making of this design, I really liked the
All right.
it's okay. I really like the moon phases. I really wanted to add the moon phases because I was like, oh, this is like very nice. Like, but now going to the final design actually, if it's somewhere, I think I can print it out actually. Yeah, right here. And say printing. There you go. This is the final design of the. Yeah, that is the most recent design of it. It's still the same. It still captures the same like moon phases, the moon, the
Raptor, if you wanna go
the
look.
constellations
Over
and
and
the
look.
birds.
I did.
Okay.
I've been running around behind you looking.
Yeah. Now, I guess going to like what how I wanted it, how I wanted my show to be like. I really like the moon, right? So I was like, what if I made a show that was moon themed, right? But also had performers that have different talents, like whether they're like a musical singer, a jazz singer, or like what do you call it? Like a musical singer, a jazz singer, or they play like different instruments. Like I wanted my show to have these different variety of performers. You know, I had a violinist on my stage. I had a pianist. I had a performer who played the Japanese koto and shamisen. And it was when I tell you, it was like the most like amazing experience ever. But what I also aimed for my show is that I wanted people to feel comfortable. I wanted people to relax. I wanted people to have a good time. And our AP Social Lounge gave that I guess comfortability, because it's so intimate. The venue was so intimate, and it was just a small stage with like a bar and like tables and booths. And yeah, it was.
Oh, okay. So between Under the Moon and the rest of your performances, what have been some memorable moments or historical things that have meant something to you? Why?
I think my historical moments was definitely my first year anniversary of Under the Moon. Like the fact that I managed to gather 20 performers, and almost have like a full house of people in the instance was truly and shockingly amazing. Despite the pressure that I was under, I was stressed. I was honestly stressed, and I was so irritated at the fact that I kept crashing on VRChat. Like, I didn't even know about avatar calling until like my first year anniversary happened. Another historical and memorable moment is probably, I would have to say, the final moon phase of
Mm.
Under the Moon, which was my departure from Renegade. So that was like my last show. Which was actually I wouldn't say fairly recent, but it was a few months ago.
Mm.
And so I almost cried because I was like, I love all these people and they support me so much, and I was like, oh my god. But yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot because like that place, although that place helped me grow my community. It helped me become a better show. Because no, it's just if it wasn't for like the music community and the community, I wouldn't have like I wouldn't be where I am. Honestly. If hang on, I wouldn't have a show, be known to perform if it wasn't for like in the music community. But on top of that, another historical and memorable moment was my most recent event, Wisteria Dreams in Moonlight.
Oh.
Yeah, so before I go into like the details of or like talking about it, after like my departure from like Renegade, I decided to like, hey, like I'm going to be an independent group. I want my Under the Moon community to be new to the music community, even though I have, despite at least like 513 people, no, 531 people in my group. But I would say that it's new to the music community. Because not a lot of people know about Under the Moon except for like the performers who perform there, right? But yeah, so we're an independent group, and we're new to the music community now. Going to Resurgence of Moonlight, it was a blast. I absolutely loved every single like part of the event, including my staff. I want to say again, thank you to my staff team and my performers that have performed there. We worked really hard on putting this event together. I literally created an 11-minute intermission with a voice recording saying, welcome, well, actually, it was like you know how like um, you know how like in intermissions, like there's like a recording where it's like, oh, uh, please sit back and relax and like enjoy the show. I literally just like recorded myself doing that in that recording, and then I like put like the URL in, and it was just like the intermission. But that was like because that was what that's what my representatives wanted, because the representatives of my Under the Moon group is myself, Linkity, and Zeroy. Linkity is he is my co-host and co-owner of the group, and Zeroy is the head of security. And so these two, I absolutely love these two people because they want the best for me, and they support me in so many ways. And I don't know, it's amazing to have that support behind your back, you know. But I'm also very grateful for these people because they are an amazing and lovely people to be around. And so yeah.
Oh. So there's one thing I'd like to ask about, and also I was curious. You said final moon phase. Do you run events based on the phases of the moon?
Actually, yeah. So, during my time in like Renegade, I honestly just put the final moon phase there because that was my last that was those were my last days like being that was my last day being like a show host at Renegade, I guess.
Okay.
And then now that like I started a new era, Under the Moon 2025 phase 1, that is the new era. So phase 1 of the new moon. And so I guess I'm gonna be basing my group time on how long my Under the Moon group is gonna be. I'm gonna base it off the moon phases because I love the moon and like I find comfort in it because I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain how I find comfort in the moon. I think aside from it being beautiful and like shining like so brightly in the night sky, but I guess that's why. Or partly.
Oh, well, thank you for explaining. And over the years, is there anyone in VRChat that has helped guide, push, or what's the word? It's another word for teaching, but not
Educated you?
not
Educated you a little bit?
I guess
don't know.
guided you further
Why?
along your path. You're
Yeah.
old, you should know these answers. That's why I asked.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thanks.
Ooh.
Mm.
I would say people who helped guide me and teach me. I would honestly say there's a lot of people to think about say. I wouldn't say during like my first year of hosting, I didn't really have anyone to help guide me but myself. Although I did have lots of inspirations. So I would like to give a thanks to Orange Julius. He was a host in the Renegade Entertainment Productions. He hosted his own show called The Black Pearl Variety Show. He was an amazing host, but I also learned from him. He was also like he was my inspiration because the way that he interacts with the crowd and keeps the energy going is a really good thing as a show host. To keep the energy going, to keep the momentum like up, and to talk to the audience, make them feel like they're actually there. He would like ask like individually like how he would like ask like an audience member like, hey, like so and so, like I hope you're having a good day. How's your day? You know? So I kind of like learned from that. I would like ask like during the time that I was there, I would also like I would also kind of do that. I would be like, "Hey, like, how's your day? I hope you're having a great day." And yeah, so that was like my inspiration, and that kind of just pushed me for. I kind of just pushed myself forward um, to be better, to be a better show host. But yeah, and then another thing that I would like, and now going to a year ago, I met. Let's see, it's a lot to think about.
It's okay. Take
It's
your
like
time. No
I'm
big
like I'm like backtracking. I'm just like trying to like find like, oh my god, like who I'm like thinking about it. But um let's see. It's like I'm digging back in the it's like I'm digging in the back of my head. I'm just like, oh, okay, let's just go through these files. But yeah. Let's see. So honestly, I like it's so a year ago I met Val Raven, I met Elia Kailiua, I met Taya Hunter. Um, I guess uh, 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 yeah, I guess those three. They helped guide me to grow my community or step out into the light, not only as a show host but as a performer. Um, those three, they helped me they helped push me out of my comfort zone.
Mm.
As a performer, because most of the impact was on the performer side of me, but the show host side is mostly I would say I was very independent when I was as a show host, because Under the Moon used to be a one-man show, and now it's I have a whole team. So show host. So to conclude the show host side, it's mostly just inspiration, but I also got tips from a few from a friend. And so I kind of just took that in, put that in consideration, and just did it. So yeah. Now on the performer side, oh my god, I remember Taya talking to me. And so she was like, I don't remember the exact words, but she was like, gonna put you I'm gonna put you on a stage, and I'm gonna draft you. So it was a joke. It's a joke that we make. So it's I'm gonna draft you, and you're gonna be you're gonna perform for my show. And she's like, oh, okay, yeah, because I don't perform for a lot of people. I don't perform at big venues because I am a nervous wreck still, just a little bit. But she wanted me to step out of my comfort zone, so I decided to perform for the Midnight Opera, for one of her events. And after that, I was talking with Val, and then he was encouraging me. He was he's very encouraging, and he was very kind. He's an amazing person. I just want to say that, but he wanted to push me further into performing. But there was a day that I was talking to both of them, and we were talking about Cupid's Lover Fest, and I was like, oh, okay. So, funny thing is that I get really shy when it comes to people who are really big in the music community. I'm I get really shy and just oh, okay. Oh no! I run away. If something involves me performing myself, I run away. I run away and I get really shy. So, one day I was talking to Val and Taya, and I was no, wait. They're you need to perform. You need to get on that stage. You need to perform for Verelium. I was oh, that's such a big step. I was oh, that's so much to do. That's a really big step. And they're and then the owner of Verelium is got the Goldie, and so he joined the instance, and I ran I ran behind a rock. I ran behind a rock, and I was oh my god, no!
Wait a minute.
And
I think I remember that
they were
instance.
laughing at me. Really?
I was there. You ran up on the hill in the back of the thing. Hello, I'm actually here to interrupt the episode you're watching really quick to ask you a favor. Please come join us at any of the other locations we have. You can find us on YouTube and Spotify, both of which we post our episodes and are very up to date on both. We have Discord where you go to hang out all the time, where you're gaming and shooting the breeze over with many people over that way. Feel free to come join us. I invite you. If you wish to support us, we have a Patreon where we post a bunch of random bits, bobs, and extra podcasts every once in a while for you to go enjoy. Also, if you wish to support us while on VRChat, we're now part of the creator economy. So please come join if you wish to support us there. It's there for you to choose if you so wish. And thank you very much. And a special thanks to some of the people who have signed up on our Patreon, which are as follows. And I have written down so I'll remember. And that's a tough thing. Forbidden Zero, Niche, Aliquum, Future Oracle, Lesser Capybara, and Frozen. Thank you all very much. Enjoy the rest of the episode.
Like I was so fucking scared. I was like, oh my god. Like you like even I like I'm getting so like like even like talking about it was so funny because dude, was like screaming. I screamed and I ran and hid behind a rock. And then I go back to them. And then Taya's like, hey. It's like, hey, I don't remember the exact words again. But it was on the lines of like, hey, Goldie, like you should get Tsukiyomi to you should get Tsukiyomi to perform for Cupid's Everfest. And then he looked at me as like, you wanna perform? And I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I would love to. Honestly, I would love to. And then after that, before even Cupid's Everfest even happened, literally, I was with Taya and Val and at Corbell's like open mic, right? So I performed on the stage at Furry Hideout, and so like I perform on stage. I sing a song, right? It was a musical song, and then I sung a jazz song, and then after that, he was like, "We need to get you on that stage," and I was trying to keep it together. I was trying to keep it together. Like I was literally like, "Oh, okay, okay, yeah." So and oh, oh, oh. and and so she was like, "We need to get you on that stage," like, and so we exchanged discords, and then like he sent an audition form, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And I go to Tan, I'm like, "Oh my god, you're right." I was like, "Corbell asked me." I was so shocked. He was like, and she looked at me and she was like, "Hold on, wait, how do I? I don't know. I'm probably." She was like, "I told you so," and I was like, "Oh my god, oh my god." I was like I was so shocked because I was like, this is big. But then I didn't get the chance to put in an audition form and go for like Welcome to the Ceaseless City, which is the upcoming event for Corbell's music festivals. But I didn't get the chance because I was like, I got really nervous and I just didn't do it. But I'm gonna do it soon. I'm eventually going to put an audition form and perform for Corbell. Like, but yeah, it was the most like crazy experience to actually experience and to actually feel that, to be noticed by like a big music community. Especially like they're literally like saying like, hey, like you should perform for us. I was just like, oh my god. Like what the I was lost for words. I was like, oh my god. But now after that, I performed. So on the day of Cupid's Everfest, I was like, okay, yeah, my whole my whole like set was like jazzy love songs because I sing lots of love songs because it's nice and it's cool, but not excusing the fact that I'm literally like lonely. But anyways, so but so on the day of the Cupid's Everfest, I went to church with my mother. And so we went to like Walmart. I was like, okay, yeah, we need to get like this throat coat tea because it's really good for your voice, according to like my singer friend. And so I do that. I'm like speed walking around Walmart. I'm just like, okay, yeah, I need honey, I need throat coat tea, and then I also was like helping my mom like get the groceries. So I get like 2 bottles of brisket. And I'm like speed walking down the aisle, and people were looking at me. It's just like, okay, so I'm like, no, I was seriously like speed walking around the like Walmart because I was like stressed at the fact that I'm gonna be late to my sound check, and I was like, but yeah, I was speed walking, and then after that, like I was so late to like my sound check. So like the moment like we arrive at the house, I like dash into the house. I bring all the groceries. I fill my mug up with water, heat it up in the microwave, take it out of the microwave, put the honey in it, mix it, and then put the throco tea in. I get to my desk. I join the VC, and I was like, I was like, okay, I'm here. Am I late? Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm so, and the worst part is that my PC did not want to load anything. So I had to leave and restart my PC. And then after that, I kept drinking my throat tea. Thank God it saved my performance because I was like so stressed. But my friends couldn't tell that I was stressed, but I was like stressed to the brim. So yeah. Now, when I sung up on that stage, I honestly really enjoyed it. I think it was a very nice experience performing jazz songs for people because I think jazz is not. I don't know. I think jazz should be performed more for like the music community. At least I think because there's only a few jazz singers that I know, like Elia Kaliua, Hadubid. There's Century. Kit Kat sings me. I can sing jazz. There's like only like a few jazz singers that I know that perform at like big music festivals, counting myself. But yeah, it was like
Oh,
performing at.
are you aware of
performing
the Jazz Lounge? That's
I
another good
am,
community.
yes, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So, actually, when I performed at the Midnight Opera for the jazz event, the owner of the Jazz Lounge, Lanzor, after my performance, they came up to me and they're like, "I really liked your performance. Like, your jazz singing is like." She said something about my jazz singing. I don't remember, but all I know that it was good. But, so they're like, "Yeah, like, is it okay if I friend you?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course." Like, and then after that, like we were talking, then it became like a jazz lounge, the jazz lounge. I'm a performer now, so like if they need like a jazz singer, they'll like ask me. So I guess I'm gonna be stepping into that area. I also need to learn more jazz songs, cause like
Quit stealing shit.
Can't help it. I can just reach my hand
Okay.
out and grab one.
Yeah, I know. I got
Sorry.
you.
Yeah, so you guys might see me at the jazz lounge as a performer because I'm now a jazz lounge performer now. So if you see me at any events in the jazz lounge, I might be there to perform.
Okay.
Oh.
Since you're talking jazz, what jazz singer in real life that really puts you on the spot? You know, you can listen to it over and over again.
I would say my first peek on my first look into jazz was Leve. She's a really well-known artist. She makes lots of love songs and people love her. So she was you asked what really like gets me, right?
Yeah, the jazz singer that really, you know, how you want to put it. Now I'm playing you. Thanks. See what you passed it on to me. Thanks. I appreciate the disease.
You caught my
dude.
dementia.
Yeah, thanks. The jazz singer that you like to not to say represent, but inspires you. There's the word. Inspires you to perform the way you want and all that kind of jazz.
I would say, like I said, Leve, and then Nat King Cole. I learned a ton of songs from him actually. I've performed like Unforgettable Nature Boy. I performed let's see. Let me look into my jazz/vintage old songs. I performed St. Louis Blues. I performed Autumn Lays the Sand and the Sea. The Tis Autumn, like Blossom Fell. Like there's so many. Oh my god. I'm gonna delete these after. But um I've
That's everybody's
learned
stealing pictures.
I performed so many of his songs. Especially like when I first performed at VRLM. Like that was like the time where I actually learned a bunch of his love songs because it was February, the month of love. People getting together, singing jazzy love songs for people to fall in love with each other and stuff. So yeah, I would say aside from Neve, like Nat King Cole is I would say my biggest inspiration because he just from singing his songs, it helped me achieve a lower part of my voice. So like yeah, he like just from listening to his songs and like singing his songs, like it helps me achieve like a different part of a small different part of my voice that I can reach.
Okay, I have
So
another
he really
one in
gets
that.
me, yeah.
Another one in this situation where you're talking about what song is one of the hardest ones, even in jazz or any of them, that you ever wanted to perform and you're still working on it, or it's whatever the deal is. Which one's the hardest one for you?
Oh my god. Okay, so I let's see. I would say I might work on this. Actually, ones that I'm currently working on. I would say Bewitched, Bothered, and Bewildered. Sung by. Let me open up my Spotify because I forgot her name. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. Why are you installing? But yeah, so Bewitched, Bothered, and Bewildered performed by Anita O'Day. I would say, I mean, for me, she kind of sings in a slightly higher register than me, so I kind of had to like sing in my range. But that song is a little hard for me to learn right now, and I'm still learning it. But once I form that song, I hope it's gonna be smooth sailing. But yeah. Currently, Bewitched, Bothered, and Bewildered is my hard song right now that I'm learning.
Okay. I could always ask my favorite question and everything else. What's the weirdest thing that you ever seen in VR when you were in VR when you came into VR? Knowing we're jumping backwards.
Okay. Yep. Alrighty, time to dive deep. We're diving deep. All right. Well, weirdest experience, weirdest thing that I've ever seen on VRChat. Little kids wearing these unnecessary avatars that have big fucking tits. You're a child and you're wearing an avatar. You're wearing the avatar. And I'm sitting like I was like in a black hat and I'm sitting here and I'm just like that you're yeah. I I was like so shocked because I was like, why is a child wearing that avatar? It's like, and I don't even know. They might have said, this looks cute. I like this avatar so much. Excuse me. I don't know. It was like, it was so weird. I was like, why am I looking at this? Like, I don't need to see this. Like, this doesn't need to, this can't be real. Like, am I dreaming? Like, what is this? I was so shocked. And trust, like, it was like so, I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, that was my weirdest experience.
Okay.
On VRChat, I was like, no, this is so much.
So I've got a question for you. From the sounds of it, when you started performing here in VRChat, you started small, and then you were pushed into doing a bigger event. What was it like going from what you're used to being on a stage at with Scout the Goldie and his event in Verlium? How was it different between the experiences, and what did you take from the experience?
Uh, hmm. Can you repeat that one more time?
Ah,
I need to like,
sorry, it's okay. I
um,
I tend to
no,
layer them a
it's
bit
okay.
weird. Oh,
Oh
It's
from
yeah,
okay.
going
don't
from
you
the
ever.
smaller experiences in terms of performing for people, smaller events and venues, to
Hmm.
Scout the Goldie with Verillium, what was the experience like going from a small stage to a large stage, and what did you take from it?
What was my experience from coming from going to a small stage to the big stage? Um, it was like I had stage fright, so even if like even when I started it with a small group of people, I was nervous to even perform. Um, no, starting off small and then like going to like a big stage like for aliens, it was. I think I see lots of progress in myself.
Hmm.
I think I've definitely improved in my performances compared to my a cappella and singing like in the beginning of the years where I was singing on VRChat, where I was singing songs that were kind of just out of my range.
Hmm.
Um, like I don't. That's a really interesting question. I've never been asked that before. Like, and I'm really happy that you asked that question because it really gets me thinking. Um, like, oh, I can't believe that I started off so small. Just, I was like when I started off like singing, I was literally singing like bedroom like pop music, and I was like, but now just jumping from there, it's really wow, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. That
Well, start with telling
I
us what
really
the
need to.
experience on the stage was like playing there for the first time, and what were your thoughts during that performance, and then move on from there.
Yeah. So, hmm, that performing on the big stage, running through my head was I was like, there's no way I'm performing on a big stage and performing in front of a bunch of people that in a big venue that's like very well known in the music. And it was really in my head I was like, have I come this far? Like I was granted an opportunity to oh god, I'm gonna fucking cry. But shit. But um I'm trying to keep it together right now. But yeah. Like just think what was running through my head was like, I've come this far. I've been granted an opportunity to perform at Fairly big stage. I think that was like one of my greatest achievements. To start from a small stage, performing in front of a small audience, and then at a blink of an eye, I'm on a big stage, performing in front of a bunch of people. I think that was, I think that's what showed my greatest progress in terms of my performing and my voice. Hmm.
All right. I have one. Okay. Since you just mentioned it and everything else like this, you said asked you a question that you've never had. What kind of questions have you had that people have come up and asked you and everything else like this. Not saying they're strange. That's not what I was getting at. But a question that made
Common
made
questions.
common questions, but a question that hit home and you had the ground, you know where to go with it, that type of deal. What kind of questions like that have you had?
I honestly don't remember.
Okay.
I think this is like the first time that someone has asked me that question. Like the question that Lion asked. I think that was the first question that really like
Okay. What kind of common questions have you had then that people
common.
come up and ask? Yeah, come up and ask you that you give out.
They asked me about my group. They asked me about
Okay.
my singing and like how I'm able to like um reach there, especially with my singer friends. Um, they oh they always sometimes they ask me about like my range, and I kind of like and when I answer that, I'm kind of just like I kind of just developed it. Like I sing so many songs that has so many dynamic vocals that requires so much like range and such. So the questions that have been asked me for me that have been asked is mostly about my show and my voice, and like questions about being a host, actually being a show host of a community.
Okay.
Okay. So I have a question for you. Since you were into music and everything, why did you choose hosting instead of performing right now? And why? Yeah.
Oh, you kind of like cut out like
Oh,
mid
sorry.
sentence.
When went down the hosting route before you started performing now, if you liked music, why start with hosting instead of going into performing? Why did you go through that route first?
Because I wanted to see what it's like being a show host. I wanted to know what it was like to have a show, to have performers performing for your show, and it was. But at the same time, I did it for experimental purposes to see if I was fit to be a show host, to see if I have the qualities to become a show host. You know,
Hmm.
that's why. That's why I did show hosting first before actually becoming an actual performer.
Okay.
Okay. I got one to throw with this. Then, if that's the case, what advice would you give to somebody if they come up and ask you about hosting? What advice would you give them?
I would give them I would give them like my advice that I would give them is always like try to interact with the audience. Um it's always good to interact with the audience to make them feel like they belong there and they feel noticed, because sometimes in shows the audience are there and sometimes the show host, doesn't really pay attention to the audience sometimes. But not all show hosts are like that. Another piece of advice that I would give is to always give your performers credit. Always give your performers credit and that's what I do. I always give them credit and I always give them feedback after their performance, because how I host is that whenever a performer is done performing, I always give them my input and what I think about the performance. Feedback, I always give feedback. Positive feedback, honestly. So yeah, it's like I do that all the time because I appreciate every single performer that comes across my show, or or a performer who wants to perform for my show. You know, I always appreciate my performers. You know, so interact with the audience and um yeah, interact with the audience and give your performers feedback and credit, and yeah. And it's optional. Praise them. I like to praise my performers because I really do want them to feel like they did a good job, because they did do a good job. They did amazing. They have amazing voices to display and to show to audience members, and yeah. Oh, and encourage your performers as well. Give them an opportunity. Give them what do you call it? Give them comfortability.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll get you there.
Okay. Now that we've learned a bit about where you started, what you've done, what's next for you? What do you intend? What are your ambitions? What can people look forward to coming from you over the next year or so?
I definitely want my Under the Moon group to grow and be known in the music community. Known, I guess, even more. That's my goal. Throughout all these moon phases, I want my group to grow, and I want my one out of my two goals. My first goal is to, obviously, like I said, have my group be known in the music community, right? My second goal is to reach 1,000 people in my Under the Moon group. Not only that I want my group to just be big music events and open mic events, but I also want to have my audience members, or members of Under the Moon, I call them my moon citizens, to have game nights. Game nights is what's coming to Under the Moon, actually. No, but it's not going to be hosted by me. It's going to be hosted by my co-host or one of my staff. So, yeah. And I also want my moon citizens to look forward to is my collaboration events. And I also hope to partner with other groups as well.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, same thing with your performances. Do you have any ambitions in that field as well?
I think that with my okay, now I do want to improve on my performances even more. I feel like right now I definitely need to improve on my singing and how far I want to push my voice. I did have planned that when I start working, since I am a senior in high school, graduating. Once I start working, I'm gonna start getting a vocal teacher to help me expand my singing. I know that I'm good where I am, but I want to push forward my voice and expand my range and help and unlock another part of my voice that I know that I can unlock. I know that I can hit a higher range. I just haven't been properly taught how to unlock the higher register of my voice. I know I have a higher register, but I need to unlock it. So I do want to strive to get a vocal teacher. But yeah, I do want to improve on my performances and be better. Those are my ambitions, and to perform more for big events on VRChat as well.
Oh, well, I can't wait to see where you go and grow. Last couple questions before we wrap this up. First of which is the name you have in VRChat. Where'd it come from and why do you use it?
Oh, Inoue Tsukiyomi. Okay, so that is my VTuber name. Inoue Tsukiyomi. So he is my. That is my persona actually. I actually have art if you guys want to see. I do want this. I do want this avatar to be rigged or made for me actually. So this is what he looks like. This is my character art actually. So this is what he looks like. He
Oh, wow.
is his backstory is he's a fallen moon prince. He got banned. So long story short, he got banished from his home, which is the moon, because he accidentally committed a crime that he didn't even know that he committed. So yeah, but to my name, I kind of, I don't know. The name Tsukiyomi derives off of like the Japanese mythology moon god called Tsukiyomi. But I just kind of, instead of like having it Tsuku, it's Tsuki. So in the Japanese language, Tsuki either means, well, actually Tsuki means moon, but I guess Tsuki also means like.
Hmm.
But Tsukiyomi, yeah. I don't really have a particular like reasoning behind like the full name. I kind of just wanted to give him a full name, honestly. But
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, and the avatar that you're in, why do you use it? Does it mean anything to you? Is there anything about it that means anything to you?
I guess you could say that it's a I guess you could say that it's a different version of
Hmm.
Inoue Tsukiyomi. So I call this avatar the Starboy form of him because there's stars and he has a moon on his head and he's very blue and he has lots of sparkles. But yeah, this is like his Starboy form, honestly. Which is also my host form and which is also my host avatar and my performer avatar as well. But yeah. I would like to safely say that this is another version of Inoue Tsukiyomi.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time. It's been an honor to meet you and get to know you. So thank you very much.
Of course. Likewise. Thank you so much. I absolutely appreciate it, Lion Turtle and Dirty Raptor.
No problem.
Thank you.
Where can the audience find you if they wish to reach out and find you?
I do have my socials on my link to my VRChat profile. I have a Twitch. I stream on Twitch. I am a PNG tuber on the path to becoming a VTuber, an independent VTuber. So, and I also have a link tree to my VRChat as well. Oh, a link tree, I think. No, it's a blue sky. I think I just deleted it. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I have a blue sky. I have a blue sky as well. What do you call it? And then I also have a YouTube. I only posted one cover there, but yeah. As for my Under the Moon group, I have a Discord server link to there as well. So if you join my Under the Moon group, which is moons.8718. When you join it, there is a Discord icon right next to the English and Japan language, and that's where you'll find me. And I'll also be having a open mic show on Friday, April 4th. My Under the Moon open mics happen every other Friday, featuring 10 performers every open mic, and then which they have the privilege of singing 2 songs back to back, and then it goes straight into an open mic. So it's a 2-hour show open mic. So if you guys are interested in joining my VRChat group, feel free to. And follow my socials, which is Inoue Tsukiyomi. Let me type it actually in the
You can also put everything in the description for the audience to find too.
Oh yes.
Yeah, we do that every single time.
Yes.
Well, again,
Yes.
thank you very much. It was a pleasure,
Mhm.
and everything. All the
Yes.
links will be right down below if you're on YouTube, right in the description. If you go to guest links, One easy place for you to find all the stuff. If you're on Spotify, it'd be up over in the episode description. Same place, same label. But with that said, we're going to ask you, the audience, a question as well. Do you listen to jazz? If so, what kind of music do you like? Put it in the description. We like to read about it. And with that said, as always, Mr. Raptor, you know the thing.
I got your line. No matter, excuse me, no matter what you do and everything else like this, if you got a famous artist or something like that and you want to perform, give it a shot and everything else in this situation, because knowing me, I sound like a flat tire, so I can't see myself out of a cardboard box. We'll talk to you later and good luck. Bye.